So all aboard.
You better be ready. If you're playing defense today, you better buckle that chin strap up tight because those big backs will be coming at you. The New York Giants are here. They are on the field, and for the first time at home, the 2008 St. Louis Rams. When we come back, Troy, Pam, and I will set up today's game from St. Louis right after this.
You're watching.
Going on down on the field and check in with Pam Oliver.
Here with Torrey Holt. And Torrey, I have to ask.
Gosh, there's plenty to talk about as we get ready for kickoff and as we go through the early part of this game. You heard Torrey Holt say run 39. That's a big part of the game plan today for the St. Louis Rams. Give it to Steven Jackson and early and try and get something going offensively and take some of the heat off Mark Bulger. But we'll see the Giants on offense first as Brown kicks it away and Ahmad Bradshaw waits for it and takes it at about the 1. Bradshaw gets to the 20 and that's it. A 19-yard return, and he was met by Todd Johnson, backup safety and one of the better special teams performers for the St. Louis Rams. And here is that offensive line, and there's a big difference between these two sides, Troy. This is a big and healthy offensive line up front.
Well, and that's really where it all starts for you, Joe, is along that offensive line. All the guys are back from last year's group. It's been a solid group for a number of years, but I think it took winning the Super Bowl for the football world to really appreciate what this group's all about.
They blocked for Tiki Barber and then blocked last year for Brandon Jacobs and Derek Ward. And late, Ahmad Bradshaw. Crowd gets into it early, and Jacobs tries the left side, doesn't get much, picked up 2.
500 yards to the Philadelphia Eagles last week. A lot of big plays involved in that game, and obviously the Rams are hoping to be able to have a much better performance here this afternoon.
First throw of the day by Manning, and he hits Plexico Burress, who had 10 catches in the opener against the Redskins. That was good for 8. And it's good for a first down for the Giants. Bartell on the stop.
Downs in the red zone, but got shut down pretty much there in the second half.
First down, New York. Play action from Eli Manning, and he hits his fullback, Hedgecock, who picks up 5. Brought down by Tino Isamoa. One big piece of the puzzle is missing for St. Louis. And that
side. So this is an adjustment for him today.
Play clock winding down to 2. And a good play made by linebacker Tino Isamoa, who meets Brandon Jacobs in the 7. Good pocket for Manning, who throws to the sideline and out of the reach of Amani Toomer. So a first down for the Giants, and then after that the Rams defense holds and gets a nice round of applause from this.
And you lay an egg like the Rams did last week in Philadelphia. You got to see how you bounce back from those.
So a much better start here today for the Rams defense, and Dante Hall gets away. And a good punt by one of the best in the business, Fiegels. 54 yards, nothing on the return. And a look at Mark Bulger and the Rams offense when we come back. The Rams offense, which did virtually nothing at Philadelphia week 1. They had a tough time getting off the line of scrimmage, and Mark Bulger has his team ready to go. And a handoff to Steven Jackson, trying the right side, a pickup of 3, where he was met by Barry Cofield. And we look at this offense, and this is an
Jacob Bell is down, and you have to move Adam Goldberg, who's a tackle, into that position. So another lineup change.
They ran him to the right, now they run him to the left, and Steven Jackson goes nowhere. Good play by Corey Webster coming up along with Johnson. A pickup of 2 and a third down coming up.
You're going to see Justin Tuck, and if you are going to be able to get to the outside, this is a guy who you've got to be able to block. Randy McMichael, the tight end, really does a good job. Justin Tuck is one of the young superstars, in my opinion, in this league. He came on last year. He was a backup player predominantly. He would rotate with Umanura and Strahan. When Strahan retired, he then became the full-time starter, but he is a load.
0 for 11 on third down last week at Philly with the Rams. Nice pocket for Bulger, who throws, and it's broken up with a good play by Dockery as he got in front of Dante Hall, and it's 3 and out for this Rams offense, which they did 7 times in 11 possessions last week against the Eagles.
That, and as you said, they did not convert a third down last week, and so now with their first third down opportunity here today, they fail to convert. Not a lot of separation there. Good job by Dockery in coverage, but that's a ball that has to get laid out to the sideline. In fact, this Rams offense does not have a great deal of these secondary players sitting on some of these routes.
This guy's got a great leg. Donnie Jones, the punter, back to the 25 is Hickson. Looking for room to run, almost lost the football near the 35, and he's brought down at the 36. 57-yard punt, tackled by Massey, the center. No score. Giants have it back. To see if this team is going to play for him here today or this season. It was not a good start. Good start defensively the first possession, and now Jacobs has plenty of room to run. Gets 11 and a first down.
The leaders are going to be on this team, and they may not be the people who you would expect them to be. In fact, he indicated he would be surprised at all if a lot of them are maybe even rookie players.
Manning over the middle, hits Toomer. Brought down by Bartell from behind. Good for 9 yards, and we go for a game break. Here's Kurt Menefee. All right. Once in Chicago, Dave Toub has a great group and does a nice job for Lovie Smith in Chicago. 2nd and 1. Hand off to Jacobs, running right. Coming off the corner. 3rd down and 1. Jacobs gets it, and Jacobs is brought down right at the marker. Depends on the spot as to whether it's enough for a first down. And
see bigger plays, bigger chunks of yards typically generate a lot more points.
Hand off to Jacobs running left, and he has yet to get on track to pick up with 2.
Successful.
5 plays on this drive, 4 runs by Brandon Jacobs. 2nd and 8. Manning looks right, throws, and completes to Toomer. And Toomer's brought down at the marker. Looks like he has enough for a first down, but we'll check the spot. Play action from Manning under a little bit of pressure. Floats it for Burris. Couldn't be more open. Touchdown, New York. Another blown coverage by this Rams secondary, and Plexico Burris ran right by Otagwe and was standing in the end zone waiting for the pass.
Well, good job on the outside, and you're going to see Eli Manning step up. You got Boss, who kind of missed, but then Deal steps up and takes his man, which allows Eli Manning to step up in the pocket, and there he was. He shows the move to the corner to Otagwe. Otagwe overplays it, and then Burris comes underneath, and that's the big play that Tom Coughlin was hoping for.
33 yards to Plexico Burris, and the first points of the day. And Jim Haslett continues to try and find answers in his secondary. 7-0 New York. Plexico Burris with his 26th touchdown catch in his last 38 games. Manning's got his first of the year. 7-0 New York.
Some impressive in and of itself.
Carney kicks it away. He's been showing a big leg on these kickoffs, and Dante Hall takes it from inside the 5. Gets out to the 24, and that is it. We'll take a break when we come back. 2nd down for the Rams. With the ball inside Giants territory. 2nd down and 10. Bulger throws over the middle. Penalty flag comes in. The pass incomplete. Dane Looker, the intended target. And a flag is down. A hold against St. Louis. Mathias Kiwanuka, that interior group with Barry Cofield and then Fred Robbins, they do a good job as well. Even though they're predominantly run guys, they do a good job of getting an interior push. Quick throw again to Holt. 3rd time the Rams have run that. They get a little bit of that yardage back, not much. was good for 4, and a 3rd and long coming up for the Rams, and they faced that situation a lot.
Real underrated receivers in this league.
On 3rd down, Bulger gets a hand up to the face, and that's going to be a penalty and an automatic 1st down. It was Tuck who came around and got the hand up.
Personal foul, number 91. Defense, face mask. 15-yard penalty, spot of the foul, 1st down.
So by penalty, the Rams get a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, and this is a tough one. He's able to put a move there on Goldberg. Goldberg should have been called for holding right there, and really all Tuck did was get his hand on his helmet. A little better look here. Well, he got his face mask. Yeah, a little more than just his, his helmet. When I first saw it, it looked like he had just touched the side of his helmet. But even if he hadn't have grabbed the face mask, anytime you get a hand up around the face or the helmet of the quarterback, they're going to call it.
1st and 10 at the 40. Back to the ground game, and Steven Jackson falls forward near the 35 as we are under a minute to go in this 1st quarter. So the Rams
said he felt pretty good, but being in shape and working out in the offseason and then in training camp on your own is a little different than when you get into a ball game.
2nd and 5, and there's Jackson on the outside who makes the catch. Brought down by Pierce, the middle linebacker who's moving around. A gain of 3, 3rd and short coming up.
Jackson out in the open field. Here's a guy who had been working at the weak side linebacker position because of the injury to Umenyiora and moving Kiwanuka to the defensive end position. He had to then make a position change, and he's still getting his feet underneath him as well.
54-yard try by Josh Brown. It's within his range, and he drilled it. Free agent pickup from the Seattle Seahawks, and a guy who had been a thorn in the St. Louis Rams side drills it from 54 yards to make it a 4-point game. Much different complexion to this game than for the Rams a week ago. 7-3 early 2nd quarter. Answer up by 4 as Bradshaw waits for the kick. Takes it from about the 1. Ahmad Bradshaw gets to the 20, and that's it. I think right now the St. Louis Rams are looking for baby steps, and they got it.
Can this defense do something that they have failed to do and stop an opponent?
Hand to Brandon Jacobs over the left side, and he's knocked down. We've seen a couple of players already.
You're accustomed to. That appeared to be the problem for Steven Jackson.
2nd down and 8. Brandon Jacobs over the right side. Good hole for Brandon Jacobs, and a 1st down New York after the 31, a gain of 9.
But Brandon Jacobs is the bell cow, and as long as he's healthy, he's going to be the guy getting the bulk of the runs.
Play action to Jacobs as Manning steps up, airs it out. No one there. Toomer was.
Toomer's not exactly the fastest guy on the field right now either.
2nd and 10. Jacobs. Rams have done a good job against Jacobs.
Last week and then even here, I mean, he's running awfully physically.
3rd and 8. Four-man pass rush, no pressure. Wide open is Toomer. Eli Manning with a perfect pass. Hit him coming out of his break. Good for 14 yards along the sideline.
Well, again, he has time in the pocket to make the throw. And when you have these kinds of lanes, I mean, as a quarterback, it's real simple. It's just like you're out there on the practice field without any pass rush whatsoever. Now, what's surprising to me is that, as I just spoke of, that's Amani Toomer. Now, you've got Ty Hill, who got beat a couple times last year.
Manning's going to put it up again. Plenty of time. Here's Toomer down the sideline and broken up by Bartell. Bartell got his right hand up and knocked it away, and he was stride for stride that time with Amani Toomer.
You can see they come up and challenge him now. So now it's a foot race down the field. Bartell, and that's hard on a corner. You know, when you're trying to keep stride with a wide receiver and at the same time get turned and play the ball. That's good defensive play.
2nd down and 10. Play clock winding down. And it expires, so here's another delay of game. I thought it was well said by Tom Coughlin. Eli's trying to do too much. At some point, you just got to snap it and go. Manning throws and completes, and who is it again? Amani Toomer to the 40. 18-yard completion, and Toomer is having a big first half.
And Chris Long, the rookie, playing this left side. You're going to see Jacobs. This slows down any rush. I mean, you've got McKenzie who's out there taking him, but then before Jacobs goes into his route, he gives a little chip to give some help, and defensive ends hate that. Now, on the back end of that, we came in saying Coach Coughlin wanted to see someone other than Plexico Burress being the featured guy. Needed to spread the ball around a little bit. Boy, they have done that today with Amani Toomer.
He's thrown to him 7 times, and Toomer has 4 catches. On first down, Manning steps up and overthrows Smith, who was open. Manning ends up on his back, and he just missed an open. Hand off to Derek Ward underneath. Gets hit by Chavis and keeps on going. First down, Giants. An impressive run as Derek Ward just flattened Corey Chavis, who was left without his helmet.
Well, I think Corey Chavis thought that he was going to be able to put a big hit on him since it wasn't Brandon Jacobs running the ball. And then all of a sudden you got Derek Ward, and this is just head-on collision. I mean, he does a good job of filling the hole. He's just unable to get him to the ground. I think Derek Ward is one of those running backs that, because he does come in off the bench, but when he has played, he has really played well. I mean, he's put up some pretty good numbers last year and then even this year when he's gotten his chances.
Ward tries the right side, and he's brought down this time. 11th play of this drive. Manning steps up and throws underneath.
Come after you the way that these teams have the last 2 weeks.
Play clock down to 0, and a handoff to Ward underneath, and Ward is brought down at the 21. Chris Long in on that tackle, a gain of 7. It brings up 4th down, and it brings up this combination of Jeff Fiegels, who's 42, holding for John Carney, who's 44. Combined years in the NFL, 41 years, and all those games played, and all the
business owners.
But really, there's nothing small about
Rams. 6 career kickoff returns for a touchdown. Taking it from around the 5, and he hits with a full head of steam into that pile, and they the only touchdown so far. Plexico Burress, and now first down for the Rams, down by 7. Steven Jackson. Nothing. Ronaldo Wynn on the tackle. First year with the New York Giants. This is an offensive line that was certainly tested last week by the Eagles in their blitzing scheme. The architect of that, Jim Johnson, Steve Spagnuolo, who was with Philadelphia for 8 seasons.
And you see Mark Bulger right now going to a no huddle, trying to get some momentum with this offense.
And so far, not finding any. A run of 2 to bring up 3rd down and 8.
You just don't want them to happen early in the year.
3rd and 8. And Bulger is wrapped up by Robbins. He was sacked 4 times last week. That's the first, and for Fred Robbins, his first of the year.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about a little bit earlier. You're going to see Fred Robbins right in the middle, and the job that he does of getting that interior push. I mean, he is really good at just continuing to play. In fact, this entire defensive front plays that way, and they know that when you've got the edge rushers that they have, the quarterback has to be able to step up inside, and they should be able to get some sacks, and Fred Robbins was able to on that one.
Donnie Jones hits another good one, sending Hickson back inside the 20. What a punt. Hickson brought down. You look at the Giants offensive leaders here with 6:15 left to go in the half. Brandon Jacobs has been held relatively in check. Amani Toomer has had a big day. Burress has the touchdown. And here is Brandon Jacobs, who has not had a ton of room to run. James Hall, Corey Chavis on the tackle, a gain of just 2.
No, they've done a good job against him. I mean, you're talking about a runner that last year averaged 5 yards a carry. Last week he had over 5 yards a carry average. And today the Rams have done a good job against him. And Jim Haslett, the defensive coordinator, knows coming into a game like this, you've got to be able to shut him down. But it'll be interesting to see what happens then in the second half, because the holes aren't always as big as you would like them early in the game. So as you start to wear down that defensive front for the Rams, you know, will Brandon Jacobs then start picking up some bigger chunks?
Second down and 8. Jacobs averaging just 2.9 yards per carry so far in the half. A blitz. Rams get there, and the pass in.
Chris Long, he's going against McKenzie, and you see that Ward wants to try to give a little help. He doesn't give much. He just keeps playing. Chris Long, and then Eli Manning started working his way and gave him a lane. That's his first sack of his career, and one he'll always remember.
And he's not the only one that'll always remember it. There's a Hall of Famer with a flat top watching in a studio in Los Angeles who's, I'm sure, beaming. How about that moment? As Chris Long in his first home game, the #2 pick overall in the draft, gets his first. Well, football meets fashion. A couple of magazines, Eli Manning, the cover of this month's Men's Vogue, and then GQ dedicates this month's issue to 73 reasons why we're living in a new golden age of football. Chris Long is in their 4-page photo spread. Michael Strahan being on the Fox pregame show, reason number 64, and reason number 53 is our own Pam Oliver. I think they chose wisely. Bulger steps up and overthrows McMike. To those two guys, Bulger really stacks up, but it has been a rough go since the start of 07. Pressure on Bulger, and that's the reason why. He is continually under fire. This offensive line is not protecting him. A loss of 7, and that's the 3rd Giant sack.
Yeah, and every time, I mean, when he gets up, you see where his chin strap was up around his nose, and the pressure inside. Justin Tuck coming from the outside. Fred Robbins getting another sack, and you know, it's hard to play quarterback in this league, period. It's especially difficult when you don't trust that you're going to have the time in the pocket to deliver the football where you want to throw it.
So still waiting to convert, and they're faced with 3rd and 17. Just a 4-man rush. Bulger underneath hits Jackson, and he has the first Rams conversion on a 3rd down.
And pick up a good first down for the team.
Michael Johnson, the second-year safety, is the one who had that real good shot at Steven Jackson and missed him. Pressure on Bulger, and coming through untouched is Pierce. Another sack, and Bulger is slow to get up again. This offensive line is not doing any kind of a job against this Giants pass rush.
And right now, Mark Bulger's about as mad as he can get, because inside this offensive line, they got to close the gaps. You cannot let a linebacker or a defensive tackle shoot through the gap between the center and the guard. And Mark Bulger saw Pierce was in there. The line should have seen it, and it should have been picked up. Someone on the outside should have been the one coming free, and that is very frustrating right now for Mark Bulger.
2nd down and 19. A pocket this time for Bulger, who throws to the sideline, and a fight for the football incomplete. Holton
not done that, because there's a lot of guys there up front that we're looking at that he could be getting in their face and really showing a lot of people how frustrated he is.
Quick throw to Jackson coming out of the backfield, trying to stay on his feet, and the play was made out on the edge by Kenny Phillips. That was good for 11. And Josh Brown, the place kicker, is going to come onto the field, and this is going to be another long attempt. 54 yards again. He's 1 for 1.
And then hold. If they can go in at halftime 10-6 with a lot of things that worked against them, I think they'd be pretty happy with that.
Rams are going to let it go to the 2-minute warning, and one which he drilled. Now in his career, 14 of 23 from over 50 yards, and this one is on its way, and Brown hits another. And he looks like money well spent over the offseason by St. Louis, as Brown is 2 for 2. Both 54-yarders, and again, he had plenty of leg.
Sure did, and I know that, you know, as an offense, you'd like to score touchdowns, but when you've got a kicker who can kick them from that distance, boy, that's a nice luxury to have. Scott Linehan. Exactly is this? I mean, do we really know?
Bradshaw waiting for the kick, taking it from about a yard deep in the end zone. Mount Bradshaw trying to give his team a lift, and he does with a good return out across the 30. And we go down to Pam Oliver.
To identify, throughout this ball game and then into future games.
He's out there at left end, trying to get around Mackenzie, cannot, and this one is out of the reach.
Injury number 1, and I think it's a lot like when the Giants took Eli Manning. I mean, you knew what you were going to get from that standpoint. The Rams know what they're getting from Chris Long. They're going to get a guy who works hard on every snap.
This one's over the middle, and Steve Smith with a catch, and he's forward for a first down. 2-minute drill put together here. Manning identifying the middle linebacker and then handing to Ward, who makes some nice moves.
Oh, he's done it.
And by the time Atagwe hits him, Ward is very from the sideline. He's been a terrific influence on Chris Long. Second down and 1, and a handoff is to Ward. Easy first down and more. Lowers his shoulder and goes down inside the.
Some holes, and Corey Chavis is going to be in the hot tub when this game's over.
That one was good for 11, and this one is high and caught by Hickson. Dominic Hickson up to get it, and he's got a first down at the 19-yard line, and now the Giants do keep the pedal down.
Yeah, I like this because there's plenty of time. 2 timeouts left in your pocket.
Like handoff to Ward, who has plenty of room, and he's still going. He's brought down at the 1, but a penalty flag is thrown, and it's a hold against New York.
Saw that through the season last year, them getting better and better.
Now just 24 seconds remain as Manning steps up and hits. That's Hickson. And Hickson is to the 17, and the Giants will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts with 16 seconds left. Here's that penalty that brought that big run by Ward. 16 seconds left in the half, 2nd and 8. 1 timeout remaining. They fake the handoff, and Manning throws it left-handed. Completes it somehow to Jacobs. And there's under 10 seconds to go. The Giants will have to use their final timeout.
That's a great job by Eli Manning. First of all, he needed to move around. I mean, he's got to feel this backside pressure right there by James Hall. But having said that, left-handed and getting the ball out of his hands, you're just hoping it's incomplete so that you don't take the sack, and then you don't have to burn the last time out. But at least he did not take the sack. I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, Favre-esque, and I mean, that's something I just know. Them being able to come down the field before the half, if they get this and match what St. Louis did, would be positive.
33-yard try by Carney, who has yet to miss, is a Giant. Good from 39 his first time, and this one is drilled. And with 1 second remaining, this first half will continue and is what a 7-point game. You look at Scott Linehan. Just the 1 touchdown for Plaxico Burress. Otherwise, we've seen some field goals, 2 by Carney, 2 by Josh Brown, and there are the numbers. How about the sacks? 4 by the Giants, and as we welcome you back into our broadcast booth, that would be the first place that I think the Rams have to start. Dante Hall waiting for the kick from Carney. Second half underway. Rams have the ball down by 7. And Hall is brought down from behind by Hickson, a return of 21 yards. They have had their hands full with that very good Giants pass rush. Fake toss. Bulger rolls left, and he hits his tight end McMichael. Nifty play, and McMichael is wrapped up and brought down after a gain of 14.
Getting open. I mean, it is a collective effort when you're talking about pressure like that on a quarterback.
Play action again to Steven Jackson, and Bulger rolling right, throws, and the pass incomplete for Keenan Burton. Keenan
sooner rather than later, but I can tell you that a rookie wide receiver, probably the toughest position to come in and play other than quarterback.
Handoff is to Jackson, running left, has a blocker out in front of him, and Steven Jackson is good for 4 before Butler rides him out of bounds.
I'll tell you, one of the things that I'd expect to see a little bit more of moving Bulger on the outsides as we move along.
Bulger with time, with protection, with a drop. Dante Hall had first down yardage, hit in the chest and dropped it. And you can see the frustration on the face of Bulger as he heads off to the sideline.
Yeah, I don't want to sound repetitive. Should have been an easy conversion. You know, that's obviously a frustrating thing for any offensive team.
Jones hits another high hanging punt. Hickson lets it go over his head, and it will check up and stay inside the 5. Good play by a linebacker. The Rams brought in Gary Stills to save the play. And after the 54-yard punt, Keenan Burton was there to down it. Nothing on the return. There's Stills, who they brought in just before the season started. Burton there to tap it down. They place it at the 3.
Have to punt.
2nd and 6. Manning throws, and it's out of the reach of Amani Toomer. 2 today. 3rd and 6, a blitz, pass for Burris, and a first down. Rams sideline is screaming that Plaxico Burris pushed off on Ty Hill.
And you got the back shoulder fade for the first down.
Pass to Toomer. He's been busy. That ball's ripped out, but all it does is buy some more yardage for the 2nd down and 10, and a handoff is to Ward. Derek Ward with a first down inside the 30.
Against some paid professionals.
Manning stumbles, still gets it to Brandon Jacobs somehow, and he goes nowhere. Into the play clock winding down, and here's that throw again. Plaxico Burris, and the ball comes out. That's a live ball. Picked up by the Rams and returned by Otagwe, who gets a block. And eventually Steve Smith makes. Back in St. Louis, we're under a challenge and a review. Certainly look to all of us like the left elbow of Plaxico Burris is down. And the rule is anything other than a hand or a foot, the ball carrier is considered down, and he doesn't lose the ball until clearly he is down by contact. And we believe this ball will stay with the Giants, and the challenge will work out for Tom Coughlin, and the call will be reversed.
That should be a pretty easy call. I mean, you think about this drive started on the 3-yard line, and for them to have moved it all the way down the field like they have, I think they're going to maintain possession here. And
obviously the only thing that Bill Levy would look at would be as if the ball was starting to come loose prior to that, and I didn't see that either. I don't believe it was.
After reviewing the play, the runner's left elbow and shoulder were down before the ball came out. It'll be Giants ball, 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line. The illegal block in the back is not enforced, and New York will not be charged a timeout.
So it is no fumble by Burris, and it's a first down for the Giants at around the 10-yard line.
You know, we showed a shot of Tom Coughlin.
1st and goal. This is the 10th play of this drive that started at the 3. Play action. Manning over the middle. That's Toomer. Touchdown. Touchdown New York, and Amani Toomer, who has been a busy target for Eli Manning, gets his first of the year and 51st of his career with the New York Giants.
Good ball placement. You're going to see Toomer go in motion, and then he gets Ty Hill on his outside. And there's no safety then in the middle of the field, and then it's just a matter of can you get the ball where it needs to be to give him a chance to make the catch. And Eli throws that ball perfectly. Hey, Amani Toomer, he's a heck of a player, and he has really shown up big here today.
It's in his 13th year. 2nd-round pick out of Michigan. He has 6 catches, 67 yards, and now a touchdown. And now it's a 14-point game. A big score by the Giants, capping a drive that started at their own 3. Manning through the air to Amani Toomer. 20-6 New York. They're the scoring numbers for the Giants. That 97-yard drive. The Rams have a total of 76 yards of offense in this game, capped on the touchdown throw of 10 yards to Amani Toomer. So Dante Hall waits for another kick from John Carney. Takes it from near the 3. Gets out to the 25, and that is it. Zach Diassi down there to make the stop. 22-yard return, down by 14. The Rams offense back to the field. Defensive coordinator trying to figure out another way to stop this Rams offense, and what is I would say a rather key drive in this game for St. Louis if they want to hang in there. They're down by 14, and it seems like the momentum is starting to build where this could be an avalanche of points against them. They fake a reverse and hit Steven Jackson out of the backfield, who's out to the 31. Good for all of that footage from the Gulf Coast region in Galveston and Houston. And just take your breath away as Steven Jackson pushes the pile for a first down, a gain of 8.
I want to get back on that, riding the coattails of this defense, and boy, they got off to a great start last week and continuing to play at that high level even without some key players.
Steven Jackson out of the backfield, and what a play by Butler coming up in the backfield, bringing him down a loss of 6. Let's go to Kurt Menefee. Kurt. Denver just took apart Oakland in week 1. 2nd and 16 after that good play by James Butler. Bulger throws sideline and a blown assignment. Dane Hickson from the 5. Johnson can't bring him down. Stills gets an arm on him, and eventually
veteran players, and I think that'd be frustrating for any head coach.
2nd down and 7. Some pressure on Manning. A penalty flag looked like a hold as Kevin Boss, it looks like, is going to have his first catch taken away. 1, a blitz coming from St. Louis, and Manning is brought down.
If we'd only gotten more production here, or if this group had only done more here, we might have had a chance. But for them to be able to come out and stop them the way that they did on that play, there's still plenty of time for the Rams to be able to put some plays together and some drives together to win this ball game.
Fegels hits it. Dante Hall waiting for it from the 10. Hall looking for somewhere to run. Sweet man. Very visible in this community as they give it to Dante Hall, and he gets nothing over the right side.
And unfortunately for Jackie.
First down, St. Louis. Penalty flag on the play as McMichael somehow hangs on after Butler delivers a big hit. And it's an illegal shift against the 5 catches in week 1. Just had that one taken away, and quick throw to Torrey Holt. Good for 3, and we go to Kurt Menefee for a game break.
Well, the Bears were looking good.
See, Looker wants it to his inside, but Butler's in the middle of the field there, and so Bulger tried leading him out to the outside. Tried to put enough air under it to get Looker to turn around, but that's very difficult for a receiver to lose sight of the ball and then try to pick it up and make a.
From the shotgun, Bulger throws, and contact, pass interference against Dockery. Looker again, as Dane Looker is behind. Started. As Bulger with play action is going to run. Makes a move, and he's brought down.
Very big family. It was 8 of us. I had 6 sisters and a brother.
Trente, Wendy, Riley, Kimberly, Crystal, Tiffany, myself, and Brittany.
I used to love the cartoon He-Man. I used to run in the yard saying, "Oh, great God." Y'all better not put that on TV.
Defying his demand to not have that put on TV, and it's nice to get to know these guys and their personalities. He is one tremendous player. Michael Johnson banged up on that tackle. They look at him. We take a break. First down, St. Louis. Rams are 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. The last one on the run by Steven Jackson. Down by 14 points, under 11 to play. First down at the Giants 45, and Bulger going for it all downfield. It's Holt. A lot of contact, and the ball being wrestled for. between Kenny Phillips and Torrey Holt, and it's the veteran Holt who wins it. Touchdown, St. Louis. Unbelievable.
You see the concentration here by Torrey Holt. Does he bring it in? The ball bouncing around. Obviously, a lot of arms in there. Who has it? And did it, in fact, hit the ground first? Well, I tell you, there's no clear evidence of it hitting the ground, but based on the position of those players, it looks like it got picked up off the ground and was an incomplete pass.
Somehow that ball ended up back in the arms of Torrey Holt, who kept his eyes on it. Bulger let it fly downfield, and those two, Kenny Phillips, the rookie, and Torrey Holt. Phillips had it go right through his hands initially. And the touchdown will stand as we give another look at it. And Scott Linehan charged up on the sideline. Here's the ball ended up in the gut of Torrey Holt. Touchdown is the call, and all of a sudden this is a 7-point game here in St. Louis.
Discover a whole new flavor, born of Cascade hops and caramel malted barley for a full-bodied taste and bright hoppy finish. It's not just a new beer, it's a whole new ale. Introducing Budweiser.
This crowd have life thanks to a 45-yard touchdown from Mark Bulger to Torrey Holt. And now Bradshaw takes it from inside the end zone and gets smacked by Chris Draft. Let's go back to the touchdown.
Yeah, and this was such a slow developing play that Bulger had to have a lot of time. Not something he's been given a lot of, but look at the protection. I mean, no one within 6 yards of him. And then watch the route by Torrey Holt there on the inside. The move to the outside, he gets him over the top and then goes to the post. And just great concentration, really. I don't know. He's the only one that knows whether or not he actually caught it, but great concentration. You talk about a team who's really been outplayed for most of this game to now be back in it and only one possession down.
This crowd is as loud as it's been in a long time as the pass incomplete, and Bartell may draw a flag for his contact with Amani Toomer.
And I tell you, it looked like a veteran move there by Amani Toomer, kind of pressing him a little bit to draw the foul, much like what you would do in basketball. Watch Amani Toomer.
First down, Giants. Bradshaw in the backfield for the first time today. And they hand it to Ahmad Bradshaw. He's out to
Shaw. Had a lot to do, as you said, Joe, with them winning that game.
2nd and 7. Pass is behind Steve Smith. He makes the catch, gets up and runs. And Smith is to the 45-yard line, and Plaxico Burress delivered a block on that run. 24-yard play.
Well, Steve Smith, second-year player, does a great job of coming up and working out of the break. Watch the separation that he's able to get. Terrific right there for a young wide receiver, and a ball that was thrown behind him to make that catch. And then whether or not he was down, it's a matter of whether there was contact, and that's what they're going to take a look at.
The challenge flag, Ricky Manning Jr. There's the end of the play, but the contact, that's the block by Burress.
Was down by contact prior to the advance.
Ricky Manning Jr., a late addition to this team, was in the area right when Smith made the catch and made a move, and was the hand of Ricky Manning Jr. on the left foot of Smith when he went to the ground. Challenged by St. Louis. We'll come back and get the call after the break. We've looked at this replay a number of different times. There is one angle, this one, where it looks like you could maybe make the case that Manning gets him on the face mask a bit there against the arm, and then on the left foot. I think that's about our clearest look at it, and we'll get the call from Bill Levy.
After reviewing the play, the runner was contacted by the defender on his left foot. He's down at the Giants' 39-yard line. First down.
The play is enough. The play is enough for a first down, but it takes away a big chunk of yardage as Ricky Manning Jr. just got his left hand on the left foot.
Looks like he's going to be a special player for this team for a while.
Bradshaw gets it on a toss running right, has blockers out in front of him, gets to midfield and then lunges for another yard. Corey Chavis on the tackle.
And he probably is the one guy on this organization that hasn't gotten the credit that he deserves.
Giants trying to come up with an important drive and an answer to that last Ram touchdown as Bradshaw gets back to the line of. Manning with plenty of time throws, and Hickson with a catch. Big catch by Dominic Hickson. Moved his right arm into the defender. But the catch brings it down to the 18-yard line, a 32-yard completion, and here's the contact with Fakir Brown.
But watch what Hickson does in giving Manning the room that he does on the sidelines to lay this ball over his outside shoulder. That's a friendly position right there for a quarterback to see that kind of room. Now, they could have got Hickson. He stretched out his arm as well. But a beautifully run route and a well-thrown ball by Eli.
From the 18, Manning looking right, hits Bradshaw out of the backfield, and he will cruise in for the touchdown. And in a blink, the Giants answer.
18-yard touchdown.
You know, the Giants are kind of becoming this offensive unit that whenever they just kind of need a score, okay, well, let's just go down and get another score. And we've got a flag now thrown on the field, but they turn Ahmad Bradshaw completely loose into
After
the flag.
the play, taunting, number 17 of the offense, 15-yard penalty will be on the kickoff.
They get Burris on a taunting call. Are you referring to any game in particular where they need a score and they just go down and get it?
I mean, obviously the one that comes to mind is the Super Bowl, but you know, they did it against Dallas when they had to get a score. They go down there and they make the plays. And
it's back to a 2-touchdown game. Here's the catch that set it up. Dominic Hickson over the shoulder. And on the very next play, Ahmad Bradshaw out of the backfield. It's a 14-point game to the dismay of the defensive coordinator, Jim Haslett.
For the most part, to give him a chance.
Tuck already has 3 sacks on the year, 2 today. This one is behind Dante Hall.
It's harder than to make a lot of those types of decisions.
4th down and 6. A blitz coming. The pass caught by Hall for a first down. A team that started 0-8 last year could be looking at an 0-4 start this year going into their bye. That's Dante Hall, and that's 5 yards.
And some of the opponents that they'll face, that certainly is reasonable, and it should be expected.
Rams trying to get something moving here with time running out. This one is batted down and intercepted by Tuck, and what a day. Justin Tuck will cruise into the end zone. Almost had a Leon Lett moment, Troy, but he got in before Steven Jackson brought him down, and I don't know how that big guy got his hands up, knocked it down, and then kept it against his chest for
an S on his chest all day long. He's on the inside here, and he goes up and is just able to be an athlete and bring the ball in. I mean, he's just, I don't know that I've seen a guy with the combination of speed and power and athleticism that he has. And then you talk to the coaches, not only does he have these physical talents, but he's extremely smart, which allows them to use him in a lot of different ways. And he has great character. I mean, this guy's the entire package. Maybe they'll put him at tight end and let him catch some balls.
There's the extra point, 34-13. You're right. I mean, they just kept filtering in defensive linemen, especially defensive ends, through the draft. A 3rd-round pick in 2005, and now without Umanura out for the year, with Michael Strahan retired, Kiwanuka back at one end, and Justin Tuck is all over the place. And he said he liked He-Man as a kid growing up. He's turned into He-Man for this Giants defensively.
Well, and that's why at the time that Michael Strahan retired, and I thought that the Giants would be okay because Justin Tuck would then become an every down player. and he could make up for some of the production that they would lose from Strahan. Now, when Umenyiora went down, that changes everything. Now, can they get that out of Kiwanuka? But, this guy, I tell you what, he's a one-man wrecking crew, and it's not just today, and it's not just last week. We did a lot of those games last year, particularly through the playoffs, and, I mean, he was the difference maker for that crew.
His position coach is Mike Waffle. He coaches the defensive line. So obviously he has done a tremendous job with his group up front, as they've now had to fill in with the injury, with the retirement, and they don't look like they've lost a beat.
No, and how about all these offensive linemen trying to get on camera? They can't. Sean O'Hara, David Deal, Seibert, none of these guys can get on camera. They know that Tuck right now is getting a lot of publicity. they're going to buddy right up next to him.
If you want to get on camera, just go stand around Tuck.
No doubt.
Donnie Avery, the rookie, is going to return kicks, so maybe this is one of those young guys that Linehan's talked about. Avery does the best he can out near the 20. Coughlin. There he is, upset at the beginning of the play. And now you just got to stay with it, Troy. You got to stay with it. Everything's good. It's an interception. It's a touchdown. And Mike Waffle's never been happier in his life. Is that coaching in the NFL too?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, hey, if I was coaching Justin Tuck, I think I'd just walk around with a big smile on my face all the time. That's not him.
You got happy at the end. Under 5.5 to go, and the Rams now. They've had to use some of those options here early, and it's paid off. 1st and 5 now for the Rams. Handoff is to Pittman. And Antonio has a first down. The listings for the start time in your area. On first down, Bulger throws, and it's off the hands of McMichael. Let's go for a game break. Here's Kurt. All right, thanks, Kurt. So it's New Orleans an 0-2 start. And I understand Indianapolis is now tied Minnesota 15 all in their game. Bulger, that pass was tipped on its way out to Pittman.
And I do think they're going to be a little different ball club this year.
With Kyle Orton, a quarterback, out of the shotgun. Bulger steps up, throws behind McMichael, who drops it.
Yeah.
To Peyton Manning in that category, who's a 260, 8th all-time in completion percentage, but he certainly needs more help out in front of him. He's going to be able to do anything as Hickson backpedals, takes it in, crosses the 40. They're doing everything right now, the Giants, into Rams territory. One missed tackle after another. An embarrassing moment on special teams as Dominic Hickson ran through one arm tackle after another, and after a 57-yard punt, an impressive 50-yard return by Hickson.
Well, if there was one play that kind of epitomizes what this St. Louis team has been about over the first 2 weeks, I think this is it. A number of missed tackles, and Hickson's a good return guy, but when you have that many opportunities to bring a guy to the ground, you've got to be able to do that. And that's just sloppy play there by the St. Louis Rams. But Hickson, as we saw earlier, the play he was able to make on the receiving end, he had the big game against Cleveland in the pre. Very unselfish football team, and a team that is playing as well as anybody as a team, and that's why they're looking so good right now.
Jacobs gets it on a toss running right. Wrapped up by Clifton. Job over the past couple of years and evolved as a head coach, and boy, does he do a tremendous job in guiding this Giants group. A gain of 7 by Ahmad Brad. Now the Rams are left with only one timeout. Rams just spent one as we went to the update from Kurt. Bradshaw gets it on a toss running left, wide open toward the end zone and in again. His second touchdown of the day. One receiving, one running, and now the Giants are making it look awfully easy, running right through this Jim Haslett coach defense.
Hey, I'm not even sure easy is a good enough word for how simple it has been for this Giants team running the football. You got a 3rd and short with a sizable lead. They're going to run the football, and yet nobody touches the guy. He's one-on-one on the safety, makes a move on him, and gets in the end zone. And tell you, I've been pleased, though, watching this Giants football team, how they have continued to play. And what was a close game at one time, they've just put their foot on the pedal.
Giants have 3 running backs with at least 50 yards today. Bradshaw the latest as he gets the touchdown. Derek Ward and then blocking out in front.
I mean, just a good job right there. As you can tell, that's Dave Deal, the left tackle. And then nobody's there to even make a play. And you know, speaking of David Deal, how about him? I mean, last year he comes in, he replaces Luke Pettigrew. He had played a number of different positions over his career: right guard, right tackle, left guard, and then last year he gets moved to left tackle. Nobody thought he'd be able to do it, and he mans the area, and they go on and win a Super Bowl.
You could see Scott Linehan trying to tell his defense to hustle off. As you said, here's a 3rd and short. You're fighting or playing for some kind of pride, and they don't get a hand on Ahmad Bradshaw as he goes to the end zone. Here's the offensive line, and they have not really been challenged today by this Rams defense. 2 sacks by the Rams, the first in the career of Chris Long. Adeyanju had the other, and other than that, this offensive line has had their way.
Yeah, and I think that offensive line, I mean, I don't think most casual football fans would be able to name one of them. I mean, they don't have an Orlando Pace. They don't have a Flozell Adams, or, you know, whoever the star guys are, Jonathan Ogden, who retired. But, you know, collectively, this group is really, really solid. And it's nice to see this group, these 5 guys, really getting the recognition that they deserve, because somebody blocked for that guy Tiki Barber, who piled up all those yards too.
This one checks and just sits at about the 8. Dante Hall picks it up. Big throw there to take the lead over New Orleans. Bulger is flushed and he just throws it away. There's no. That was a 41-13, near enough, and they're just going to, offensive line wise, just watch the Giants walk all over him as Jay Alford gets the sack, and Bulger's just sitting back there. He's got to be wondering, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, and there's not one defensive lineman for the Giants that wants to come out right now. I mean, they're smelling blood. They're seeing an opportunity to increase their sack totals. They know when they come up for contract negotiations, that's the #1 thing that coaches and negotiators look at. They're feeding on it now.
And now they just have to run the ball. It's Steven Jackson, a minimal gain. The Giants are celebrating, and the Rams come slumping off the field. I mean, this has been now and late in this 4th quarter just to give them.
Yeah, it's rare when you see a game like this, and of course the Rams now have experienced it back-to-back weeks, and you know, you have one and you just say, hey, okay, let's put it behind us. Every team has one of those during the season. Weeks in a row, it's a trend, and I just don't know how, as a coach, I don't know how you get a team playing. That's going to be a real challenge for Scott Linehan as they prepare for next week's game.
Hickson with a fair catch back inside the 45. A lot of celebration by these Giants, who are on their way to an easy win and a 2-0 start. Yards after 2 weeks. And if Linehan said it could have been worse in week 1, it got worse here today. Time permitting, we will get you to the end of the New Orleans-Washington game, which seems to be a terrific game unfolding. In this is just part of the story. The passer rating for Eli Manning, that's outstanding, 20 of 29. They have 3 running backs with 50 rush yards or more, 3 receivers with 60 receiving yards or more. Defensively, 6 sacks against the Rams, have allowed only 201 yards, 1 interception, and a defensive touchdown by that guy, Justin Tuck, on an interception. I mean, this is a complete team effort by the Giants here today.
It's just rare that you dominate an NFL team the way in which the Giants did today.
And the hot seat just got hotter on the other sideline for Rams head coach Scott Linehan. There are a lot of Giants fans left here in the stadium cheering on the New York Giants for their effort here today. And Tom Coughlin, Eli Manning, and the Super Bowl champion New York Giants have started 2-0, while the St. Louis Rams, statistically not good in any respect, and record-wise they are 0-2. A long day for Mark Bulger behind his offensive line. We'll take a break, and then we will come back. The AT&T postgame show will come up after a break. The Giants win it 41-13. Our UPS leaderboard. UPS, what can Brown do for you? Big day for Eli Manning. The Giants have to be thrilled with the way their offense came together in the second half. Brandon Jacobs, 15 carries, 93 yards, and Burris, 5 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown. But this was a total team effort today for the Giants. So there is Amani Toomer. He was busy today. Hickson all the way up and down this roster. We will step aside. Dick Stockton, Brian Baldinger, Brian Billick come your way now from Washington.